Onivia, League of Legends highlights, powered by ArcaneBet.com. Bet live on esports.
Gets locked in on 9.4, you know?
Right.
Okay, I like this. Will mean that we're flexing the rise towards the top side of the map, and the Yasuo ward is still there and hasn't been swept from Sandbox. Chovy moves over as he has priority in the mid lane, and there we go. Okay, Taunt will land onto Joker. The Unbreakable's there, stops a lot of damage. Tarzan gets exhausted, but First Blood goes to Chovy on the Aurelia. They should even be able to get the steal away on this blue buff. They pull it in
very close quarters with one another and the
Oh,
opponents.
threads the needle on the Cocoon as Summit is going to be able to get the passive shield on fleek. Here in time as Chovy turns up. Tarzan gets his way out. Vanguard's edge is there. But it's a great flash to come in from On Fleek. They are going to even this one up as Summit. Okay, On Fleek is able to get out of there and Chovy moves back to Summit. Some very structures, but no plates to come from it. No extra money. And I think the Mountain Drake feels like a more impactful choice. Heroic entrance, not going to be utilized there as okay, flashes forward. They do manage to stop the Realm Warp. Summit gets himself a shield, does have the Seraph's Embrace, but he's in the grinder. That is a very dead rise, and that is Sword getting himself a kill and possibly turning this game around.
Yeah, and that is...
Make his way forward. Lehens gets himself under his outer turret. Ultimate is going to land there. Fate's Call means the dub just denied the ult, and that's an easy pickup for Viper, but honestly a mistake from Sandbox. Sword finally waddles his way in, and Joker. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Griffin now going to be able to pick up themselves the Clown Drake. It will force another Mountain Drake to end up spawning, so that should actually be a pretty high priority. Ghost?
Yeah, he's going to face check Sword. The disdain is going to be very easy. Takes a lot of damage. Good ultimate defensively, but Viper should be able to use that Marshall Post to get himself there. Realm Warp comes down, but Joker is going to die. Cocoon not going to land. Sword tanking a lot of damage as Dub is going to be fighting with Chovy on the top side. The flash does come in, but Chovy's just so tanky. Does eventually have to use the flash to get himself out of the way as Corrosive Charge comes in. The flow was built up, but it ain't built up enough. And Sandbox going to lose on multiple fronts.
And Sandbox right now are just getting picked.
The waves aren't in positions where they can truly capitalize, or the champions just aren't there. As On Fleek, yeah, he's just out of position, guys. Doesn't have Ragnarok. Blade Surge going to come in. Is it all a cunning ruse, though, as Ghost going to get on top, wants to try and get the flash forward. It's going to be Summit that gets on top. There's the Fate's Call. The Rise should die here. Fantastic taunt from Lehens. And once again, Griffin giveth, Griffin taketh away.
And Ghost manages to...
This is not a true 50-50 because he's been hitting it with his autos for so incredibly long.
Tarzan has more HP than what appears because he has Smite.
All right, we're going for the turn. Oh my god, Dove just explodes. We do have the Olaf on the backside of this fight, but he's just going to go down. He's more food for this Kalista. She's so strong at her current level in this meta, and Viper is showing that he can pilot her to such beautiful effect. We've all seen what he's been practicing in solo queue. We didn't know what he could get done on the stage, and damn, does it look good. Joker now in the back of this pit does not have the unsealed spellbook, so he was just going for a cheeky steal. Not enough. And Griffin with a second, and this is not sieging time.
Oh, ends up actually getting...
Yeah, Vanguard's Edge comes in just to try and get that kill. Defiant Dance is going to be there. Chovy picks up the kill, but at what cost, everyone?
A lot of Baron duration ended up getting used right there. Summit and On Fleek now are going to pick themselves up the second Mountain Drake. One of the problems with the second Mountain Drake, though, is that if you guys are behind, if you're on the defensive, it doesn't really do anything. Game, no Joker right now. Full-on retreat in the mid lane. This is, at least is going to be the mid inhibitor going down. Ghost canceled his recall.
Yeah, well, they don't have inner turrets.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Those double mountains are going to come online and easily result in a Baron cap.
Well, right now you've got Griffin engaging on the top side. Sword's going to be a long way away from this fight. There's now Chovy, denying so much with the Defiant Dance. His heroic entrance gets Lehens back towards his team. Viper now, he's picked up the Gargoyle, but Joker uses to stand behind me. The flash forward, a little bit of a disconnect here from Griffin, but Summit has to go golden. Now in the back line, more golden members of Griffin as Ghost is trying to flash. Tarzan gets on top of him, no damage from the Lucian in the back line, and that means that the Kalista is able to pop off. Griffin draw first blood in the fight as now Sandbox, they're routed. Joker is so low. Summit as well, he does have a lot of damage and a lot of shielding. And that, well, I mean, this might just be game as Griffin are pushing with 3 members towards this base. Ghost does make it back, but he's very squishy. There's the flawless duet, just holding onto it, and Ghost just cannot move towards these Nexus turrets.
Summit,
it is going to be a bare Nexus right now. Summit is so incredibly close. The teleport onto this control ward as Tarzan unable to get it, and the Nexus will go down. Fear beyond death, even arms from Sword, and Griffin will get themselves the 2-0, but this one looked different from both the SKT series and every other 2-0 that Griffin have got so far this season.
Yeah, and this is looking a much closer week for Griffin games. They're not as one-sided as what we would expect. In Sandbox, they had a few moments of brilliance in this game. I actually think Summit was doing phenomenal this game.
Yeah.
Obviously had an unfortunate death down there in the bottom lane to sort of end Lahens, but I think that he did quite well on the rise. And I think Sandbox can feel satisfied knowing that maybe any other team in LCK right now, outside of maybe SKT or Griffin,